Hello, everybody. This is Betsy Wurzel, your host of Chatting with Betsy on Passionate Rural Talk Radio, where our mantra is to educate, enlighten, and entertain. The views of the guest may not represent those of the station or the host. Folks, I love doing what I do. I love meeting new people, learning about events that happen in my state, New Jersey. I like to spotlight people who are in my home state of New Jersey, and especially my Jersey gals. And today I have with me a Jersey gal. I have Claudia Wheeler with me. She is a U.S. Navy veteran and elementary school teacher. Claudia launched the SALT, that's S-L-A-T Foundation, to provide food and supplies to those in need. This volunteer effort rescues 4 tons. That's right, you heard me right. 4 tons, T-O-N-S, of food weekly and distributes it to food pantries, shelters, organizations, and churches. Claudia Wheeler was a Russ Berrie Honoree and did make she did win a award, Russ Berrie Making a Difference Award, which has been recognizing people, Changemakers, for 27 years, unsung heroes in New Jersey, established by the late Russell Berrie. And Russell Berrie was I can't pronounce the word, philanthropist, there I got it, an entrepreneur who had a deep passion to giving back to the community and for making a difference in humanity. And we're going to discuss what Claudia Wheeler does. We're going to discuss about the Russ Berrie Foundation. I highly recommend, and the information will be in the blog, for you to go on the website, on Claudia Wheeler's website, which will be in the blog, the Russ Berrie Foundation, and there's a video on YouTube. And I'm going to put that link in the blog. You have to watch that, folks. I'm telling you, if it doesn't touch your heart, you don't have one. I get foot clumps very easily, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. It's very heart-touching. I would love to interview like everyone that won an award. So if anyone who won that Russ Berrie Award, and if you're listening, contact me at Sloan, S-L-O-A-N, Betsy, B-E-T-S-Y 31 at gmail.com. I want to interview you on my show. I want the world to know about you, not just New Jersey. But I did not know about the Russ Berrie Award until I met Andrea Pass, who is owner of Andrea Pass Public Relations, who introduced me to Claudia. So I want to give a shout-out to thank you to Andrea Pass. I want to welcome Claudia Wheeler to Chatting with Betsy. Welcome, Claudia.
Hi, good morning. Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
You are welcome. It is my honor and really an honor to be talking to you. Thank you for serving your country. The U.S. Navy veteran, elementary school teacher. God bless you for that. That's not an easy job. And wanted to ask you, I worked as a preschool aide, and I noticed that children, this is pre-COVID, their attention span through the years was less and less. And I wanted to know your opinion as a certified teacher. Did you notice that prior to COVID?
Prior to COVID, the attention spans were small. We had a small window at that time too. But after COVID, it's even more so now. It takes a lot to hold on to a student's attention. They're so used to, for about over a year, being at home and staring at a computer and not having to actually interact or do anything. And being social beings, they're all of us, they need to be out and interacting and being able to hold on to that attention onto something. So I have a very small window of teaching any type of subject to the students, and then once that is done, hands-on activities is what continues to keep their attention with me, whether it's, doing math or doing some type of experiment, or even to the point where I've gotten them outside, tried to get outside a lot more, doing, looking at leaves, looking at trees, investigating things on outside as well, because the attention span is something that's very challenging with them right now.
Yes, I could imagine. I know throughout the years I worked, I think 13 or 14 years, and I just saw the difference each year with the attention span, and I could just imagine it now. But hands-on, they like that better, the children, than just someone, talking. And they love going outside, right, looking at leaves and bugs, splashing in the puddles. Don't go in the puddle. Boom, they go right in it.
Right in the puddle.
It's funny. I have to share the story. I went to my local imaging place. My son needed to get an MRI done, and a woman there said, "You look so familiar to me. Have you been in another location?" I said, "Yeah, a couple of years ago." I said, "But I did teach at a preschool in Edison." You mentioned the name. She goes, "My daughter was there." I said, she said her daughter's name, but it's a popular name. So I said, "Do you have a picture of your daughter?" And I said, "Oh, yes, I remember your daughter." I said, "Oh, I loved her." I just, the children were great therapy for me, Claudia, because when I was in the preschool, my husband was diagnosed with early onset Alzheimer's. So going to work, I had to put a smile on my face every day, and just getting the love. When you give children love, they give love back. Oh yeah.
And they are good therapy, even for me as their teacher. I miss them. When we're in May, I start getting separation anxiety, and this is over 10 years now. And I say to myself, I'm not going to do it this year. I'm not going to do it. But you fall in love with every single one. And so every year I add another 15 to 20 students to my, call them mine, because I know each one's handwriting. I know each one's voice. I know what's happening in their eyes. I can see if they didn't have breakfast. And me dealing with food rescue, I always have something available that if they need something from me, I can give it to them. So it's like I don't think I can stop even up until retiring and teaching and doing SALT at the same time. Everyone may think it's exhausting, but my students are therapy for me.
Yes, and I'll tell you, teachers don't get the credit that they deserve. So I'm going to salute all teachers out there. It's not an easy job, as parents realized during COVID. And I just, children, they remember teachers. The saying, people will remember how you made them feel. A child will remember how a teacher made them feel, and could have a lasting impact, positive and negative, for sure. And, back in my day, you go to the board and the teacher would insult you. I mean, I was in tears, but that's how it was back then. But you get a teacher who is positive, who gives you encouragement. It could be life-changing for somebody. And so I salute you for that, and all teachers. Claudia, how did you start the SALT Foundation, which is wonderful?
Thank you. The SALT Foundation started, it was prior to starting the SALT Foundation, I was working, doing community service with my church. And our church had a relationship with Trader Joe's at the time, that they rescued food and gave out to the community. So on the days that we're doing community service, we give out food to the community. And I became a part of that and picked up food several days a week, brought it to church, we gave out to the community. I gave to my neighbors where I lived. People started calling church to ask for, assistance, ask for help, if there's anything they can do, and they would turn them to call me, and I was able to help others. It went all the way from, even at that time, from Hackensack, New Jersey, down to Trenton. So after that, and it just built from there, my husband said, even though you're just doing it with church, there are other supermarkets and places that have food that can be rescued, and I should just have my own organization or foundation that can get some help, because I was actually using my own personal car and doing the driving and doing myself, as I'm doing now. So December 2017, on Christmas break from school, I sat at my computer, and there is where Salt Foundation began.
That is wonderful. So do you travel through the whole state of New Jersey delivering food?
I have. I pick up the food, and wherever it needs to get to, I do travel and take it to get there, depending on who reaches out to me or what relationship that I've built. Because I saw no other way. I just knew that it's fresh fruit and vegetables because of the type of rescue that it is. It's not. I rarely get canned goods, so it's I try to make sure that the turnaround is less than 24 hours. So it's not sitting in a space or sitting in my car or anything. It's a turnaround to get it in the hands of families that need it as quickly as possible.
Wow. Now, how do you manage to do that and be a teacher? You put in a long day then.
It's a long day, but it's real. I'm asked that question so many times, but I don't see it as work. I meet so many people. I meet different organizations. I meet families that I work with consistently, and it's a matter of I'm going to step back a little bit and say that my father has always told us that food is something that brings families together. And if we think way back, the one time that everyone was able to sit at the table together is after school, after parents come home from work, and we're sitting at the table and we gather to catch up. How was your day at school? How was work? What's going on? Before we, kind of almost compress. And by me giving out food to people in need or even to organizations, it builds a stronger relationship. It also opens me to meet a lot more people, but it builds a relationship to where, there's trust there now. I can say, hey, Claudia, my husband lost his job, and is there anything you can do? Somewhere you can point me? It's been like this. And even out before COVID, I can say, okay, let me talk to someone at my church, or let me find out from somewhere if I can, point you in the right direction. Just so many things can happen just from passing out some apples because they can't afford to buy some apples.
Yes, that's it's so important. The more and more people are struggling with being able to afford food as the prices have gone up. I know myself, it's just my son and I spent yesterday $147 with not much there. And I didn't even have really, the only meat I had, Claudia, was a bag of shrimp and the ShopRite chicken pieces, the hot chicken. It's ridiculous. And I know I've heard, in the papers and on the news that people who used to donate to food banks are now needing food banks.
Yeah.
So you're doing a wonderful, providing a wonderful service, doing a wonderful service. How did you come up with the name SALT Foundation?
Salt came from the word in the Bible that says salt preserves. If we think back to before refrigerators and my parents being from the islands, that salt is something that's used to preserve fish. So it helps fish to stay fresh. And I think all over the world that's the same. There are many places that use salt to preserve the fish. But salt also brings the flavoring of everything together. So if we're making a pot of soup, salt is not the only thing that goes into that pot of soup. There's also different seasonings and different fruits and vegetables that go in there. So salt is something that would preserve the family. It preserves community. It brings people together, and that's why I chose the word salt.
I love that, because I think the Bible, says you're the salt of the earth, to be flavorful, to preserve, and we're really here, to help others and be a service to others, and you are a prime role model for that, Claudia. I commend you for that. I admire what you do to help people in New Jersey. How did you become a honoree for the Russ Berrie? I never heard of the Russ Berrie Foundation before until Andrea Pass introduced me to you via email to do this interview. And I told Andrea, I've lived in New Jersey most of my life, 3 years. I lived in Tennessee, and I never heard of the Russ Berrie Foundation, never heard of the Russ Berrie Awards. So I'd like to know, how did you become involved? Does somebody have to nominate you?
Actually, the same as you, I've never heard of it myself. I received an email back in April stating that I was nominated. And so I guess there are other people who knew about the Russ Berrie Foundation. And when she sent me the email saying that I was nominated by several people for this award and listed the name of the people who actually nominated me, I think I froze for a minute, because I didn't realize that this is how, one, the award was there, and two, the way people felt or saw. I didn't know people knew about SALT or knew about me, except some of the people who work with me in the school district who I've given food to, that actually told their story, and that's how I found out about it. And I think I cried on the stage. I truly honored to know that I'm helping so many people in the way that I am. But they all should also know that they're helping me as well. There's a growth in myself that happens every time I give someone some food, or just listen to someone when I'm handing over some food, because there's a lot of that has happened as well.
Yes, I understand what you're saying, Claudia, because we don't know how our ripples travel, how far, positive ripples, negative ripples, but you're putting up positive ripples that are throughout New Jersey, and now people will know you throughout the world. And I just think that it's wonderful what they do, and to give awards. There was 11 nominees, Claudia?
Yes, there were 11, yes.
And they all win something. They all get... Yes. Which is wonderful.
Yes.
Yes.
Amazing amount of people. I was floored to see the work that's being done in New Jersey, and I'm honored to be with all of these Russ Berrie Award recipients, because you don't, like you said, not knowing the award was there, we wouldn't have known the amount of work that's been carried out for so many years since he's been doing this giving this award. There's so many people out here that care about people, a community. They give out the love no matter what it takes, and this is a bunch of people that do that.
Yes, I was in awe. That's the word I could think of right now when I watched the video. And I know I said this before, folks, I'm going to tell you again, you need to watch this video of the nominees, of the honorees, of the work they're doing in New Jersey that I didn't know about. Real phenomenal. And I really would, when I gave out my email, I really would like to interview each one, because each person is doing something different and helping New Jersey. And, okay, so people might say, okay, well, it's New Jersey, but you know what? Maybe someone that you helped, Claudia, maybe someone else helped, they move out of New Jersey, and they're going to start something where they move to. So nobody knows how this can truly affect the world, because people have ties, and communication all over. And I never saw anything about Russ Berrie Foundation or the awards in the local paper. I get 2 local papers, and I never noticed. It might have been in there, I just never noticed it. But I never heard of it. And I'm glad that you were nominated for it, and that that you were recognized along with the other honorees.
Yes.
What would you like to say about the Russ Berrie Foundation and being getting an award? I know you were. I say verklempt because I don't know any other English word for it, but I was nominated a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago, and I know and received an award. And you never think, when you're doing something, you never think that somebody will recognize you, and you're not doing it for that. You're doing it to help people. So it is very emotional. Extremely.
It's emotional. Yeah. Once someone sees what you're doing, because you also don't see what you're doing. You don't realize the magnitude of what you're doing until someone else that sees it says something about it. And I think that's what caught me when I received the email and then was a part of the doing the video and then being at the ceremony. It was amazing. The one extra thing that really tugged at my heart was there were so many of the previous honorees from years past that were there to support us that are new, and even walked up and hugged and shook hands, and almost like being a part of something that is bigger than you'll ever know. So many people, and they'll tell you that no matter what happens, continue to do what you do, because if you really love it, you just keep doing it. And knowing that support with the Russ Berrie Foundation and the honorees that came before me is there for me, that actually pushes me forward even more.
Yes, it is very powerful when people recognize, what you're doing and appreciate it and tell you, you've helped me. And, we do what we do because we love what we do and we want to help others.
Yeah.
And, and we do it whether we're recognized or not. We just keep doing it because we love people and we want to help people. And I just think that all the honorees, they're all different, and it's just very heart-touching. And I'm so glad. I watched the video a couple of times, at least 2 or 3 times, because I was just so touched. And I'm like, you know what? I'm thinking to myself, really would like to interview these people. They're in my home state. They're making a difference. They need to be heard on a bigger level. Not that I'm big, but I mean just, to be heard around the world, because this show, Passion World Talk Radio, is heard in over 170 countries. So it inspires other people. When they hear you, Claudia, they hear someone, they watch the video, they could be inspired to do help in their community and maybe start an award, a foundation in their community, in their state. You just never know.
Okay.
Excuse me. The influence about it. And I did say that it was hosted at Ramapo College, which is a college in New Jersey. And I wanted to ask you, Claudia, how can they help you? How can they get involved with the SALT Foundation?
The best way to get involved with SALT Foundation is several. But the best way is we need help with pickups and also helping with distribution. But more so, if to be really frank, SALT is run from my teaching salary. Even through COVID and everything else, we weren't. I don't know how to. We weren't getting any type of funding or assistance or anything from anyone. The only assistance that I did get was local community organizations that assisted in getting funding to help with vehicles and help with tolls and just different ways to get around. But mostly it's help with volunteers, which are essential to any type of nonprofit organization, and funding. And those funding opportunities can be found on our website, or can email me or give me a call. All the information is on our website and social media that you can reach out to me and find best ways to do so.
And what is your website, Claudia?
The website is www.saltfoundationinc.org. SALT Foundation Inc. is all one word.
Oh, that's great. I want to
encourage GoFundMe.
GoFundMe. Okay.
And are they on your page? All of the links should be on our page on the website.
Oh, great. Okay. And I know you're on Facebook, and I went on your page because I was researching my guests. I'm like a spy. And would you mind if people went on your Facebook page, Claudia? I want them to see the work that you're doing.
Oh, no.
There's a lot of.
Please.
I was very impressed. A lot of people talk the talk, they don't walk the walk. You walk the walk. You walk your talk. Let me put it that way. You see pictures of Claudia with you received the van, right? Didn't you buy a van or?
We did. That was the funding, the community organization that actually helped me with the GoFundMe to purchase that van, which we then had to switch into two smaller vans, and now is only one smaller van because they run out of gas. They run out of the wear and tear of a lot of driving. At this point, I would probably need a fleet. So, but yes, that was the one funding that was done through GoFundMe, and that turned into a spotlight as a GoFundMe hero of 2021 August, and they spotlighted me, which helped me to gain more funds to actually get the van purchased, which was amazing.
That is very cool. So you were spotlighted on GoFundMe or Facebook?
GoFundMe. They have a Heroes of GoFundMe, and GoFundMe themselves spotlighted me. I think that's on there as well.
That's really nice.
Month for August 2021. I think that was. It was the year after COVID.
Oh, that is wonderful. I'll tell you, folks, I'm going to do a call to action. Go on Claudia's website. Go on the Facebook page. See how you can become involved and help Claudia out. Because you know what? I'll tell you, no one's immune. I don't care if you think I don't ever have to worry about food or, feeding my family. You never know what can happen. There's people now who were probably six-figure salaries that are now going to a food pantry. As the prices of food are going sky high, it's harder and harder to make ends meet and to buy food. I know myself. I saw peaches yesterday, almost $4 a pound. I didn't buy them, plus they didn't look good. The price of food is just, it's crazy. And, it's getting harder and harder. And you know what else I noticed, Claudia? I don't know if you've noticed this. I shop at ShopRite. That's our local supermarket here in New Jersey, one of them. I go during the week now. I see less people. Unless it's a holiday, there's more people. But now, going during the week, it's not like it used to be. You don't see as many people going grocery shopping at all because they can't afford it. That's the reality of it. And
I see the same thing.
Yes, and I'm so grateful for people like you, Claudia, that are helping others by supplying food. And think of it, folks. New Jersey, yes, it's a small state, but you know what? It costs money to maintain a vehicle, and the gas is not cheap. And, doing this on your own salary, wow. You are quite the woman, Claudia. If you were in front of me, I'd give you a hug. I just think what you're doing is wonderful.
Like you said, that it's exactly like you said, that if you're doing it from the heart and you love doing it, it just continues. I'm not thinking about the money, although everyone you know that the money is needed. I'm not thinking about it. I just get up every day, and I know I love doing it. I know I love helping people, and I just keep getting up and doing it. And I see that in myself. I saw that in so many of the honorees that I spoke to, and it's just amazing. Again, if you're doing it and you love doing it, it's going to continue no matter what.
It's true. I wanted to ask you, do you go to like grocery store chains or bakeries and see if what they are would get rid of anyway that's still good? How do you get all this food?
There are some, particularly Walmart, Wegmans, and Trader Joe's currently, which this is what gives me the amount of food that I do pick up on a weekly basis. But some of them requires you to have a 501c3 because it's an understanding between yourself and the supermarket to pick up the leftover food. So reaching out to other, whether it's a bagel pantry or different areas like that, they tend to choose not to give out the food for particular reasons. And then they do it in different ways. But it's mainly with salt, mainly Trader Joe's, Walmart, and Wegmans.
Wow, that's wonderful. Well, I want to give a shout-out to Walmart, Trader Joe's, and Wegmans, and thanking them for helping the Salt Foundation. They should be recognized, folks, for helping others. And,
Yes.
you know, you just can't put into words, Claudia, I think, the feeling we get when we help someone. It's like a natural high. My sister, I heard my sister once when I was sleeping, and this is when I was at the candy striper, so I was 14 or 15, and as she was getting high in the room talking to a friend, she said to her friend, she said, Betsy gets high naturally by helping people. I guess what I'm just thinking about it. And I always, I worked as a nurse. I was a teacher's aide, and just helping people. I run a support group, and doing Chatting with Betsy came out of my journey with my husband, never thinking I would get to where I am just by talking about caregiving and Alzheimer's. Never thought, and it is very powerful when people say, "Oh, Betsy, you helped me." I don't know how I helped them. I'm glad I helped them, but it's a feeling that it's just really hard to put into words. And I want to thank you, Claudia, for coming on and doing what you do. Do you have any last words to say to the audience that you would like for them to know about you, Soul Foundation, the Russell Berrie Foundation?
What I'd like to say is just to actually thank those who nominated me for the Russ Berrie Award. Finding out in the way that I found out how I was helping so many in New Jersey the way that I did was truly humbling. And if it wasn't for the Russ Berrie Award, I don't think I would know the things that I know now about how I've been helping. It has pushed me forward to continue to helping others. And the previous honorees as well, they pushed me forward to continue doing what I'm doing. Yeah, and they even said it to me, no matter what, and if you love it, just keep doing it, because it pays off in what you see when you see someone standing in front of you and you're just listening to them, and because you're helping them in one way or another, whether it's food or something else. So I am truly honored with the award, and I'm truly honored just to know that I'm doing good work to our community in New Jersey, and hopefully it goes further than that. And thank you, Miss Betsy, for listening and talking to me today, because I can literally go on and on when it comes to salt.
I understand. I do. I want to thank you for coming on, Claudia Wheeler. Folks, you heard Claudia Wheeler. Get involved with the Soul Foundation. Go look up the website. Go look at the Russell Berrie Foundation website. Look at the video. All the links will be in the blog. So please read the blog that Jeannie White, who's station manager, writes and produces the show. So I want to thank Jeannie White for all she does. Excuse me. And I want to thank Lillian Caldwell, CEO of Passion World Talk Radio, that makes this all possible. And I want to thank the Russ Berrie Foundation and giving the awards out to help these people with various nonprofits. Really, folks, if I sound redundant, I don't really care. I'm very passionate about what I do, and people who are helping others. We need to recognize the people who are making a change. And people think, oh, I can't make a difference. Nobody wants to, listen to me, or what can I do? You can make a difference. You can do something. And if you don't want to start a nonprofit, that's okay. You can help somebody like Claudia, who already has one, who you can help her and help others. And I really appreciate what you were doing for the community in New Jersey, Claudia, and for coming on. And folks, if you want to follow me, on Facebook at Betsy, B-E-T-S-Y-E, middle initial E, Wurzel, W-U-R-Z-E-L. And if you are a caregiver, or you probably will be a caregiver at some point, I have a caregiving group, support group, #KICK, Alzheimer's Ask Movement on Facebook. And thank you for listening and subscribing. Folks, this show, I'm here to help you. I'm here to provide resources. Claudia Wheeler is an excellent resource. And I need your help to get the show out, to help me help others. That's why I'm here. So if you could please share the show, I'd appreciate it. And if you don't already, subscribe to Chatting with Betsy. It is free on Spotify, Spreaker, iHeart, and YouTube, just to name a few. And when you share the show, you are not just helping me get it out there. You are helping others know about resources. And you are actually honoring my husband's, Matt's, memory, because it's because of Matt that I have the show. Matt was, and always will be my catalyst and my inspiration of why I do what I do. And that's what I have to say today, folks. And in a world where you could be anything, please be kind, shine your light bright, because if we all did that, it would be a much kinder, brighter world, and we need to do that. And that's what I have to say today. This is Betsy Wurzel, your host of Chatting with Betsy on Passionate World Talk Radio. Talk to you later. Or I should say chat with you later. Bye-bye now.